Texas Democratic Representative Sheila Jackson Lee has had a career loaded with grandstanding, half-truths, blanketed racism, and sheer hubris.
And frankly, maybe I should offer a good thanks to the distinguished members of the majority, the Republicans, my chairman and others, for giving us an opportunity to have a deliberative constitutional discussion that reinforces the sanctity of this nation and how well it is that we have lasted some 400 years.
Signers Hall, where we are right now, has 42 statues showing you the moment of the signing of the U.S. Constitution on September 17, 1787.
Operating under a Constitution that clearly defines what is constitutional and what is not. He is incompatible with the office and the leadership of this country. And yes, the idea that his continuous assault on women only compounds the fact that I would ask him, it's a job that he does not seemingly like, he needs to resign. This is a disgrace. Stop talking about foolishness. Be a leader and be the commander-in-chief and stop all of this. When are we going to get the kind of leader that is deserving of the American people? I am sick and tired of it. I want a president. I do not want
gentlelady is no longer recognized.
People are dying. Enough is enough. And don't harm my constituents because I'm calling on troops. Because they need help.
Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the president.
I've said the same thing as far as 10 years ago to the German people and to any population of people that is a declining population that isn't willing to have enough babies to reproduce themselves. And I've said to them, you cannot rebuild your civilization with somebody else's babies. You've got to keep your birth rate up. This Western civilization still is a superior civilization.
Congresswoman, what are your thoughts about that?
Casting aspersions on his so-called Western civilization. It is a racist, unbelievable statement that should not come out of the mouth of a member of the United States Congress. I stand here as a freed slave because this Congress came together. Are we going to be able to do it today to free America? I yield back.
Now Lee's lunacy has reached a height that challenges common sense. The Daily Caller reported, Jean Marie Simon, 63, accused United Airlines on Twitter of bumping her from a December 18th flight from Houston to Washington, D.C. in order to accommodate Lee. Lee responded with an angry Twitter tirade of her own Tuesday, accusing Simon of targeting her because of her race. Lee wrote, since this was not any fault of mine, the way the individual continued to act appeared to be, upon reflection, because I was an African American, seemingly an easy target along with the African American flight attendant who was very, very nice. Simon was on the last leg of her return trip from Guatemala when the incident occurred. In fact, she spent much of the 1980s documenting war crimes there in the wake of a military coup that saw thousands murdered, raped, and starved. She first traveled to Guatemala at the behest of Amnesty International. Simon is designated as a hardline Democrat by the DCNF. With all of this talk of white privilege, isn't Representative Sheila Jackson Lee's use of her ethnicity and her seat in Congress, even against a fellow hardline Democrat, an act of privilege? And if it isn't, how dare she not change her last name from Lee? John Bowne reporting.